Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright then, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game, and proceeding. Here we are on the main menu, go into edit deck menu. And now for today's deck video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Keter Sanctuaries, Apex Ruler Bastion, D-BT03. Okay, and so I'm going to be using this D-BT02 Bastion deck for the base of the deck I'm going to build. Alright, let's get started. So go into edit deck menu here. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Keter Sanctuaries Apex Ruler Bastion deck comprised of cards mainly up until D-BT03. So first, let's go to filter settings, choosing pack, show only cards from D-BT01, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT02, A Brush of the Legends, and D-BT03, Advance of the Intertwined Stars, and Festival Collection 2021, apply filter. Here we are. Okay, so first up, the grade 3 lineup. For the grade this deck, we're playing right deck, grade 3, Apex Ruler Bastion. His skills are, first skill, continuous as a Vanguard. During your turn, all of your grade 3 units gets plus 2000 power. Second skill, auto as a Vanguard, once per turn. At the end of the battle, your drive check reveal the grade 3. Cost, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, choose one of your other rear guards, stand it, and it gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Bastion, he's the main grade 3 to run his deck. His skills, first one, just by being on the Vanguard circle, Bastion gives all grade 3s on your field, both Vanguard and rear guard included, plus 2,000 power. So ideally, all your grade 3s and your Vanguard and rear guard will be 15,000 point attackers all on their own, thanks to this first skill. And second skill, auto as a Vanguard, once per turn. After revealing a drive check, a grade 3, you get to discard one card and restand one rear guard. It gets plus 10,000 power. So for the second skill, as long as you drive check a grade 3, you get to restand one of your rear guards, you get plus power. So the second skill is a good way to increase the number of attacks you can make in one turn. So for Bastion, we got 4 in the deck, playing 1 in the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the grade 3, Knight of Broadaxe Raploop. His skill, action as a rear guard. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your grade 3 rear guards, and it gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Raploop, it's a pretty decent grade 3 to play in your Bastion deck, just by giving up from your rear guard to your soul. Another grade 3 rear guard gets plus 10,000 power, so Raploop is a good way to not only restock your soul, but to also give one of your other rear guards a huge power boost. So for Raploop, we got 4, keeping 4. Next up, the grade 3, Grand Heavenly Sword Alden. His skills are, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the rear guard circle, Counter Blast 2 and Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, choose a card from your hand and call it to the rear guard circle. If you call the grade 3, draw 2 cards. Second skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks, if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Alden, he's a pretty powerful grade 3 to play in your Bastion decks. For a skill, just by calling the rear guard and paying the cost, you can superior call any card from your hand to the rear guard. And if a grade 3 is called, you can draw 2 cards. So it's a good way to not only give yourself another attacker, but to increase your hand size. And second skill, while attacking with 3 other grade 3 units in the field, including Vanguard and rear guard, your Alden will get plus 5,000 power, making Alden a 18,000 point attacker for the front row, all in the zone. So for Alden, we got 4, keeping 4. Next up, the grade 3, Knight of War Damage Fasado, taking 4 of this out. The grade 3, Dark Strain Dragon, taking it out, not gonna play this. The grade 3, Actual Analyst Kokobil, taking her out, removing. Then next up, the grade 3, Heavenly Bow of Edifying Guidance, Refusals. His skills are, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you persona roll this turn, this unit gets plus boost. And second skill, auto, back row rear guard circle, once per turn. When your other unit stands by a card effect, stand this unit. So Refusals is another decent grade 3 to play in your Bastion deck. The first skill, as long as you persona right during that turn, Refusals can boost from the back row. And second skill, skill from the back row rear guard. When another unit on your field restands, you can restand Refusals. So Refusals is a good booster for the back row of its first skill and second skill. as long as you restand one unit in your field, then refusal can restand. So this second skill works well with the first skill since he can serve as a 13,000 point booster from the back row, which works well with Bastion, who restands rear guards. So by comboing Bastion's skill with refusals, you'll be able to have a decent column of rear guards to pressure your opponent with. So for refusals, adding 1, playing 4, okay. And next up, the grade 3 form up Old Chosen Knights, normal order. Its skill is order, play with a counterblast of Soul Blast 1, so if the cost has been paid, perform all of the effects below according to the number of grade 3 units. 2 or more, choose one of your units, it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. 3 or more, draw a card. 4 or more, choose one of your Vanguards, it gets drive plus 1 until the end of the turn. So for form up Old Chosen Knights, it's another support card for the Bastion decks just by paying the cost. For every grade 3 on your field, Vanguard and Rearguard included, you get to activate a bunch of bonus effects. With 2 or more, you get to give 1 unit plus 5,000 power. 3 or more, draw a card. And 4 or more, your Vanguard gets drive plus 1. So the more grade 3s you gather on the field, the more effects you can activate for this powerful order card. So for 4 up Old Chosen Knights, we're going to be taking 1 out, playing 3. Next up, the grade 3 Heavenly Shock of Distinction, Lagrail. His skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, counterblast 2 and rest any number of your other rear guards. If the cost is paid until the end of the battle, this unit performs drive checks and gets plus 5,000 power. At the end of that battle, if you rest 3 or less units for this cost, choose 3 of your cards from your hand and discard them. If you rest 1 or less units from this cost, choose 2 cards from your hand and discard them. Drive check occurs after Guardian may be called. So for Lagrail, he's another support card for the Bastion decks. His skill, just by attacking and paying the cost, you can then let your rear guard Lagrail perform drive checks with extra power. So Lagrail is a good way to not only restock your hand with more cards, but to increase your chances of getting a trigger. But his skill has a pretty huge drawback. If you don't rest a large number of cards for the skill, you'll have to discard cards later for after attacking a Lagrail. So ideally, you have to rest like at least 3 or more rear guards, more than 3 rear guards to avoid Lagrail's penalty for using his skill. So for Heavenly Shock of Distinction Lagrail, we're playing 4 of him. Okay, and next up, the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2's deck, we're playing Ride Deck, grade 2, Knight of Heavenly Spear, Rooks. His skills, for skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by Apex Ruler Bastion, cost reveal 3 grade 3s from your hand. And if the cost has been met, draw a card. Second skill, continuous as rear guard. During your turn, if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, this unit gets boost and plus 5,000 power. So for Rooks, he's the main grade 2 to ride in his deck. His skills, for skill, just by riding Bastion on top of him, as long as you got 3 grade 3s in your hand to reveal to your opponent, you can draw a card. And second skill, as long as you have 3 or more grade 3s in the field, Vanguard and Rearguard included, Rooks can boost from the back row with extra 5,000 power. So for Rooks, we're playing 1 to Ride Deck, keeping it that way. Next up, Ride Deck, grade 1, Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. His skills, for skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks, cost, reveal 2 grade 3s from your hand. If the cost has been met, reveal the top card of your deck, call it to rear guard if it's a unit card, put it into your drop if it isn't. Second skill, action is the rear guard once per turn, counterblast 1. If the cost has been paid, choose one of your grade 3 Vanguards, it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Fort, he's the main grade 3 to ride in his deck. His first skill, just by riding Rooks on top of him, as long as you got 2 grade 3s in your hand to reveal to your opponent, you can check the top card of your deck. If it's a unit, you can superior call it to the rear guard. If not, discard it. So for this first skill, it's a good way to increase your chances of getting another attacker on the field, as long as you use a unit card that's revealed by this unit's skill. And second skill, by paying a counterblast of 1, your Vanguard gets a little slight power boost. So for Fort, you're playing 1 to Ride Deck, keeping it that way. Next up, we're playing the grade 1 Divine Sister Fasciata. Her skill, auto, is a rear guard once per turn. When your drive check reveals a trigger unit, Soul Blast 2. If the cost is paid, countercharge 1. So for Fasciata, she's more or less a decent grade 1 to use your Keter Sanctuary decks. As long as your drive check reveals a trigger unit, as long as you don't mind paying the cost of Soul Blast 2, Fasciata will let you counter charge 1, thus refunding your counter blast used for later skills. So for Divine Sister Fasciata, we're playing 4 of her. Next up, the Great One, Aegis Bear Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. His skills are: first skill, Continuous Sentinel, second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units. You cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Aegis Bear Dragon, he's a Perfect Guard for the Keter Sanctuary Nation. Like any other Perfect Guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with, by discarding 1 card from hand, you can completely block 1 enemy attack. But he also has a skill unique to all these standard format Perfect Guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Aegis Bear Dragon a no-cost Perfect Guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Aegis Mare, we're playing 4, keeping 4. Next up, the Grade 0 lineup. Ride deck, Grade 0, Knight of Heavenly both days. Skill, Auto, when reading the pawn, if you went second, draw a card. So for base, he's the starting unit of his deck just by riding on top of him. If you went second, you could draw a card. You got 1 the ride deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing Grade 0, Knight of Heavenly Hammer, Gurgant, critical trigger, playing 4. Grade 0, White Fang Witch, Disma, critical trigger, taking 4 out, replacing it with the Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon, critical trigger, skill, auto, as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units. It gives us 2,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Blade Feather Dragon, after boosting an attack, as long as you don't mind moving Blade Feather from your rear guard to the soul, another unit in your field, Vanguard rear guard, gets plus 2,000 power. So Blade Feather Dragon is a good way to not only restock your soul, and also give one of your remaining attackers a little extra power to work with. So for Blade Feather, we're playing 4 in the deck. Okay, next up, the Grade 0, Knight Heavenly Pierce, Gallus, draw trigger, playing 3. Grade 0, Healer of Heavenly Staff, Arceus, heal trigger, playing 4. Last but not least, the Grade 0, Light Dragon, Deity of Honors, Amritonia, over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect. Until the end of the turn, you also perform drive checks for the battles your rear guard's attack. So for Amritonia, he's a over trigger for the Keter Sanctuary Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but he also has a skill that's unique to him. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, until the end of the turn, all your rear guards get drive checks. So ideally with Amritonia, your rear guards get drive check, thus giving you a chance to get triggers or to restock your hand with more hand cards. So for Amritonia, we've got 1, so alright. Deck built, card effects explained. So first let's save the deck. Alright, deck being built. Okay, so deck built, card effects explained. For the cards in this deck, we're playing 4, Grade 3, Apex Ruler Bastion. 4, Grade 3, Knight of Broadaxe, Raploop. 4, Grade 3, Grand Heavenly Sword Alden. 4, Grade 3, Heavenly Bow of Edifying Guidance, Refurzos. 3, Grade 3, Form Up, Oshozen Knights. 4, Grade 3, Heavenly Shock of Distinction, Lagril. And then 1, Grade 2, Knight Heavenly Spear Rooks. 1, Grade 1, Knight Heavenly Sword Fort. 4, Grade 1, Divine Sister, La Pasiata. 4, Grade 1, Aegis Bear Dragon. 1, Grade 0, Knight Heavenly Bow Base, starting unit. And for the triggers of this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and finally 1 over trigger, Amritonia. Okay, deck built, card effects explained, so let's get on to testing out the deck. So leaving the edit deck menu, going to fight menu, CPU fight, choosing the deck I just built, and now choosing an opponent. For my opponent, I'm going to be facing off against, let's see, who would be a good opponent to test this deck out on. Okay. I'm going up against Yu Kondo, normal difficulty. Alright, the battle begins. Let's get started. Alright, so let's decide who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock to rock, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to scissors, I lose, going second. Alright. So, drawing our starting hands, I'm gonna send, let's see, I got Lagrel, Fasciata, a heal trigger, Refurzos, and form up Oshozen Knights, okay? I gotta hold on to at least 3 grade 3s to play my Fort and Rook's skills, so I gotta return either Fasciata or heal trigger. I'll return one heal trigger back, keeping the rest of my hand. I got another Fasciata, okay? Now, my opponent's turn. He rides the Great One, Reno, okay? Now it's my turn. I draw. I drew Alden, okay? I'm going to ride for my right deck, Knight Heavenly Sword Fort. For the cost, I'm going to discard, let's see. I gotta hold on to all the grade 3s in my hand, so I gotta discard one of the Fasciatas, alright? Discarding one Fasciata. Right, Fort, base skill, draw one card. I draw, okay. And now I'm going to call Fasciata to the rear guard. There we go. Go in the battle phase. My rear guard Fasciata attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through, 1 damage. Bam, and damage check. No trigger, okay. And now boosted by Fort. Nope, sorry, Fort attacks the Vanguard. Vanguard to Vanguard, 8k, drive check. No trigger, grade 3, okay. And okay, 1 damage, no trigger, nice. So that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He rides the grade 2, Bladespin and Ryu. Skill superior called Trickstar by Reno's skill, okay. Then he calls a grade 1 Mirin and grade 1 Tenji, okay. Then I have nothing to guard with, no choice. Just let all the attack goes through. Damn, no guard. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, okay. And now Vanguard to Vanguard. Alright. No guard, take the hit. She drive checks. No trigger, perfect guard, not good. Here it comes. Damage check. Over trigger. What do I do? Alright. All effects to Vanguard. I drew a heal trigger, okay. Rear guard attacks the rear guard. Okay. I gotta hold on to Fasciata, so I'm going to guard the heal trigger I draw just now. Archus, guard, 23k, attack blocked. And Fasciata saved, so end of my opponent's turn, it's my turn, I stand and draw. Okay, I ride for my right deck, Knight Heavenly Spear Rooks. For the right deck cost, let's see. I got Lagrel, 2 Refurzos, former Oshozen Knights, Alden, 2 Lagrels, 2 Refurzos, 1 Alden, 1 former Oshozen Knights, and a heal trigger, okay. I gotta hold on the heal trigger to guard with, so I guess I'll discard one of the extra Lagrels I have instead. Discard. Right, Rooks. Skill Fort, I reveal 2 grade 3s, I reveal 2 Refurzos. Check the top card of my deck. It is a... Yes, Fasciata! Superior call to the rear guard. I call it here. Okay, now going to battle phase. So Fasciata attacks the rear guard. I guess I'll retire Mirin. Alright, 1 rear guard down. And now boosted by Fasciata, Rooks attacks the Vanguard. 18k. The attack goes through. Drive check. No trigger, perfect guard, not bad. 1 damage on the way. Damage check. No trigger, okay. That's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. He rides. Chakra Bharti Divine Dragon Nirvana. skill of Ryu. Searching deck for Virina, adding to hand. And now, overdressing Virina, okay. Skill of the rear guard. Okay, calling the rear guard, alright. Vanguard to Vanguard. Skill of Dervada, adding power to Vanguard and Virina, okay. Alright then, no guard, take the hit. Drive check first. Ah, front trigger, come on! She powers the front row. Second check. Oh, come on! Critical, seriously? Critical to Van, power to Virina, alright. So 2 damage to me, here it comes. And the fire comes out, and ow! Damage check first. No trigger, and second check. Come on, something good. Yes, draw trigger, just what I needed. I draw a card, power to Vanguard. Huh, okay. The rear guard attacks the Vanguard. 28k, okay. Virina will attack 50k later if it's skill, so I'm gonna use a heal trigger to guard. 35k, attack blocked. Attack blocked, and now one more attack to go from Virina. Overdress skill, adding power. Will he retire my rear guards? Yep, he's retiring. 1 Fasciata, okay. No guard, take the hit. And 1 damage. Ow! Damage check. Yes, draw trigger, yes! Power added, I drew another Refusals, okay. Now it's my turn, I draw. I ride for my right deck, Apex Ruler Bastion. I discard for the right deck cost. Let's see. I got 1 Lagrail and 4 Refusals, 1 Alden, 1 Forma Ultras and Knights, and a Bastion. Okay, no brainer. Just discard 1 of the extra copies of Refusals to ride Bastion. Right. And Rook's skill, I reveal 3 grade 3s. I reveal 2 Refusals and Alden. I draw a card. I drew Perfect Guard, nice. So next up, I call Alden to the rear guard. Alden's skill. Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1. Superior call a card from hand. I superior call Refusals to the rear guard. Draw 2 cards. Yes, critical and heal. Enough cards to guard with, so next up I call... Let's see... I'm going to call... Okay, I call Lagrail to the rear guard. And next up, I call Refusals to the rear guard. Call. And then I activate the order card. Form up Chosen Knights. Counterblast 1. Soul Blast 1. Counterblast, Soul Blast, and activating skill. I give power to... Let's see. I give it to Lagrail. Draw a card, drive +1, okay. And now, that should do it. So first up, let's see. I attack with Alden. No wait, attacking with Lagrail to the rear guard. I'm attacking Virina, 20k. Alright, 1 rear guard down, and now boosted by Fasciata. Bastion attacks the Vanguard, 23k. He perfect guards, okay. And he discards front trigger for the cost, okay. Twin drive first check, grade 3, nice. So second check. Yes, critical trigger. I give all effects to Alden. No wait, I give all effects to Lagrail. Yep, giving all effects to Lagrail. Alright, effects added. And then third check. No trigger, Alden. Alright. The attack is blocked. And now Bastion skill, I discard one card from my hand. Okay, it's a lot of cards, so I'm gonna discard one Refusal since I already got two in the rear guard. So one Refusals for the cost. Discard. Here it comes. I'm going to restand Lag Rail, power added. And okay, nothing left, so now, Alden attacks the Vanguard skill plus 5,000 power. 20k to the Vanguard. He guards with a critical trigger, okay. 28k. And now Lag Rail attacks the Vanguard, 40k, 2 criticals. The attack goes through. Slash, pierce, and critical trigger. Nice, he wasted a trigger. Alright, trigger effects wasted. And the second check, what's it gonna be? He's getting a no trigger, alright. So that's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. He's going to... Alright, going straight to battle phase. Nothing to call. He's activating the Nirvana skill to add power to Vanguard. Alright. Then, I perfect guard with Aegis Mare. And for the cost, I'm going to discard, let's see. I already got Alden in the rear guard, so I guess I'll just discard the extra Alden in my hand. Perfect guard. Twin drive. No trigger, okay. And second check, what's he getting? No trigger, nice. So attack blocked. So now one more attack from the rear guard, 18k. Okay, then I guess I'll just guard with the critical in my hand, 28k. Attack blocked. So okay, rear guard attack blocked. So I guess it's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. I Persona Ride, Apex Ruler Bastion. And drawing a card, power added. And Refusal skill, since I Persona Ride, they can boost in the back row. Alright. Then next up, I play the order card, form up O Chosen Knights. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. I give power to, let's see. I give power to Alden. I draw a card. Drive +1. Okay. Now going to battle phase. First up, boosted by Refusals. Alden attacks the Vanguard. 45k. Plus another 5,000 power. 50k. Okay. He guards a perfect guard. Nice. He wastes a perfect guard. And discard a heal trigger. So my attack is blocked. Now boosted by Fasciata. Bastion attacks the Vanguard. He doesn't guard. Nice. Triple drive first. Draw trigger. Yes. I give all effects to Lag Rail. I drew a grade 3. Okay. Second check. Yes, grade 3. I can restand later. So third check. Yes, critical trigger. I give the critical to my Vanguard and power to Alden. So my attack goes through with 2 damage. And here comes the 2 damage. So slash. Nope, Ray of Light. Beating down and 2 damage first. Yes, critical trigger. He cannot heal, so trigger effects wasted. Okay, and alright, 6 damage. I win. Not too bad. I didn't get the chance to test out Lag Rail, but the deck was pretty stable the whole fight, so I guess it was good enough to show off. So, alright. I got win, double trigger, attack 50,000 more power, perfect guarded, drew an over trigger, did a Persona Ride, 6 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 more opposing units, 1 with 10 or more cards in hand, drew 3 or more times in 1 turn. Okay. I got 2950 VP, total 21,900 VP, press A to go next. So leaving the fight, returning to fight menu, and leaving fight menu, back to main menu, and heading back to edit deck menu. So, alright, so the deck was built, card was displayed, and I just tested out the deck in front of you. So with that, that's just all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you'll show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos in the channel. And with that I say, goodbye and see you all soon!